In today's episode, I want to be talking to you about your ability to seek out what you want. You see, more often than not, we are seeking out, like I said yesterday actually, about we can indulge in the fear, we can indulge in the darkness, we can indulge in those things which do not serve us, whether it be the people, whether it be the present environment, maybe it's even in your own self-talk. And what we're really doing here is we are hypnotizing ourselves, or we are being hypnotized by other people or even environments to be able to not see the miracles happening all around us. And it's very hard to really go deeply into, but I do intend to be able to give you a good bit of insight today that how we can retrain our mind to get more of what we want more consistently than ever before. So if you are ready, go ahead and let me know in the chat box, and that means I'm good to go whenever you are. Because like I said, if we go really deep into this, we can understand that there's far more to learn about ourselves in the world. We are so busy consuming information through the brain that we can actually forget to see what we really need to see, to feel what we're really meant to feel, and to experience the opportunities which are always around us in any given moment. Any given moment, you have the ability to do something different. So here's the thing. More often than not, most people have just got the bad self-negative talk. So if you're belittling yourself, if you're experiencing fear, worry, doubt, anxiety, depression, fears, phobias, whatever it is that you're experiencing right now, you are missing out. But it makes sense, right? Because your mind goes to seek out more of what you're focusing on. So if you are actively engaging in the stress of your life, the conflict or the issues in your life, you're going to be seeking more of it. You're going to be looking for more. And that's just the way the brain is wired up. And I don't really mind if you believe in the law of attraction, or if you believe in just the psychology or even the biology. Your brain is always wired up to seek out more of what you're thinking about most of the time. So if you are indulging and participating in the worry and the doubt of your day, and when you think about what anxiety is, for example, anxiety is focusing on everything that you don't want to happen. And unfortunately, it gives you anxiety. And we can trace it all the way back in the day, generations and generations and generations back, where anxiety was a good thing. We had to be aware of the hidden dangers around us, the potential dangers. We had to be anxious about where the food was going to come, where the shelter was going to come from, where the other tribes were. That it was all warranted for our survival. But in this day and age, we are getting to the point, of course, where we do not need to indulge in that worry or that anxiety. We don't have to participate in it. We don't have to conform to it. I mean, who here thinks that anxiety is a part of life? Many people think that that is a way of living, but that is absolutely a lie. You see, you can start to engage in something else. You can start to experience a deeper truth. You can begin to allow your mind to reflect actually not what you don't want, but your desires. And it's about training up the mind. Now, this takes time. Yeah, there's quick, wonderful shortcuts along the way. And you know that you've got the systems right there in front of you, even on this video. So if you're wanting those shortcuts, feel free to go ahead and grab them by joining me with Mind Mastery. But the ultimate fact is, the more you begin to utilize your brain for your advantage, rather it running you, it always goes down to the phrase of who's driving the bus. Who's really driving the brain here? Are we allowing our unconscious mind to assume that control for the best of intentions of usually trying to protect us and keep us safe? Because when you think about it, anxiety is there to allow you to be aware of the potential pitfalls. The fear is there trying to protect you. trying to get you to feel safe, but it is the most unsafe feeling in the world. Anxiety does not really protect you. It does not keep you safe. And if it does it to the smallest degree. And I suggest you start to come up with a new plan, because otherwise, if you don't take responsibility for your mind, it will take responsibility for your results. So if you don't take responsibility for your mind, it will take responsibility for the results you're getting. And if you do not like the results you're getting right now, if you are experiencing that worry in your body, like when you wake up and you think about the day ahead of you and you are dreading it, your mind is running you. That's what it's doing. And how is it running you? Or you could say, how does it lead to that point? Well, it really makes sense because it's usually based on our past. Your brain is so great that it's going to look for past situations in which you performed that way before, based on the significant, fearful, doubtful times where you have perceived to have failed, where life hasn't gone your way. It will repeat the exact same thing over and over again. So if your past experience, where you experience that fear, worry, doubt, anger, sadness, guilt, hurt, all of those negative emotions, if you've experienced those in your past, the chances are your emotions are running you. Now, sometimes that is good, if they're positive, right? In fact, sometimes when it's just pure anger, it can motivate you. If you get so angry about your present situation, the chances are you're willing to do something about it. If you get so frustrated, you're going to interrupt the pattern of the brain to be able to go, look, I've had enough of this consciously. So those emotions are okay sometimes. It's not the most happiest way of changing, but it will definitely make you change. You see, I was frustrated that I wasn't living the life that I wanted. I was angry at myself. I was even angry at my own unconscious mind as to why would you do this to me? But it was only doing what it thought was best, based on the past that I went through, the significant emotional events, the beliefs that I held about myself, which caused it to keep on running the same old habits and patterns, where it becomes second nature to it. And if it's giving you some form of protection, even if it's just the intent, like anxiety, intention is protection. The fear, protection. Anger, protection. Even the beliefs we hold about ourselves, if it's about money, or if it's about relationships, or it's about career, even if it's just about ourselves, the intent is always good, but the behavior, not so much, my friend. So, if we are experiencing those limiting beliefs, we're experiencing those emotions based on our past experience, it's going to be running the results for you. So if you're not presently in control of your results, unless you are dramatically starting to get that deep connection like we are in Mind Mastery, then absolutely great. We are harnessing, we are starting to direct, we're cultivating our mind to produce the results that we want. But if you're not getting the results you want, if you're not making the progress, if you're not making those steps, and you're continuing to feel like a failure, or you're broken, or things aren't changing, and you're just sick of it, then your brain is running you. Your brain is running you based on the past habits, based on the past significant emotional events, based on your beliefs, the decisions that you've made at a conscious level and an unconscious level. So, how do we tie this back into looking for the miracle? You see, I like to play tricks with my own mind. You see, I like to ask questions. And it sounds a little bit weird, but when you think about it, we're always asking questions anyway to ourselves. Even if we ask things, I hope I don't get anxious today. I hope I don't get more in debt. I hope I don't have another bad relationship. I hope it doesn't play out like it always has. They're questions that you ask yourself. But the intent and the direction of those questions will produce good results or bad results based on the quality of the questions you ask yourself. So if you're asking, why am I like I am? You're going to get reasons and excuses based on your past experience. If you're asking yourself, why does this always happen? Or I hope this doesn't happen today. Then you are literally telling your unconscious mind to look for more of the same. Because if that's in the forefront of your mind, If you're experiencing what you don't want, or you're just hallucinating it in your mind, and you're considering all the possibilities of failure, the possibilities that you are a failure, the possibilities that you are going to get rejected, the ideas about yourself in a negative way, it's going to seek out the exact mirror of what that is. But in reality, anxiety breeds more anxiety. Fear breeds more fear. Bad relationships usually bring about more bad relationships. Bad finances right now usually breeds more of the same, because we become conditioned by our very own suggestion. We get hypnotized by the events, and it just compounds itself to become a truth, a reality for us. You see, your past results, your past experiences become the benchmark as to what your life is going to be like in the future. Now, until we start to ask different questions to ourselves, until we decide that actually we have had enough, and that's where the anger can be found sometimes, the frustration. But even still, if you just decide that you don't want to improve anymore, what are you talking about, Joseph? Of course I want to improve. No. We just want to change. When you decide that now is the time to change and to experience a deeper connection with yourself that allows you to experience the health, the wealth, the relationships, the career, the finances, everything, the spiritual connection with you, the personal development connection with you, the connection with your children, the connection with your siblings, the connection with your mother, your father, your partner, your boss, your colleagues. Only you can be the one which changes that. You see, when you change your relationship with yourself by changing the questions, you'll start to get a different set of results. But if you keep on doing the same old thing, the same old way, and expecting something different, as we know, that is the definition of insanity. We don't want to go there, right? We don't want to go there. We are here to change ourselves, change our results, and actually build in that love and that connection with those around us in our life, to be able to project and radiate a new reality. So, here's the thing. In a few moments, I want you to consider the type of thoughts and the ideas and the questions you've been asking yourself. And then, after we come back from a 5-minute or so break, we're going to go into the new set of questions we're going to start to ask ourselves. So go ahead, take advantage of this moment right now to make the best decision for your future, the best decision for your family, your friendship, every area of your life. Take a moment and ask yourself about those questions. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a few minutes break. Speak to you on the other side.
Deal with a driving phobia. By the way, this weekend, I've been letting other people drive me all over, okay? And somebody was telling me how great this person was, and I went and listened, and I started working with whatever stuff for free for a year or two. I was working for free with all these hypnosis, and it was helping me so much. And as soon as my mastery came on, didn't pull the trigger right away. It took me a couple months, but as soon as I felt like, okay, I have to do this, I did. And Joseph Clough has helped me so much. I would give anything to help him.
Joseph, the hypnotherapist, his work has been really amazing. I've tried other types of therapy and hypnosis before, and it's helped, but it's never resonated as much as Joseph's work has. You know, I've learned and I've grown so much through Joseph's work, and being here on the weekend and meeting him in person now as well. He's a real stand-up guy. He's fantastic to be around. He's great fun, and it's just been an absolute pleasure to be here.
Joseph is awesome. He is a legend, and he's my hero. He always knows, he always has the answers, but he never gives them to you. You have to find them yourselves, but he gives you the cues. And Joseph often says that you have it in you, and that's true, and he just brings it out. He knows the buttons to press, and you just got to press them.
Okay, so hopefully now you have an idea of the type of ideas and the questions you're asking yourself. So, as we know, the quality of the questions that you ask yourself, the ideas, the thoughts, the feelings, feed into your behavior and go into your environment, will dictate the results that you get each and every day in each and every moment of this right now, this moment. So the base of the quality, the ideas, the thoughts, the feelings that we have, we must change that. If you're not getting the results that you want, if you're not making the steady progress that you desire, we need to change the quality of the questions. If you're asking yourself, why is my life always like this? You're going to get all the reasons. If you start to experience that self-doubt, that worry, that anxiety of all the things which could go wrong, you're going to get more of the same. It gets pulled into your reality. Because whatever you focus on most, your mind looks for more of it. It's just the reticular activating system right in here, looking for more of the same. And that's exactly why when you decide to buy a new car, you see it everywhere. You learn a new word and it just pops up everywhere in your environment. Now, that car, that new word has always been there, but it wasn't important to you. So when you think about anxiety or the worries and the doubts that we're experiencing, the behaviors that we hate, the hatred we experience upon ourselves. Because let me be blunt. Let me be really blunt with you. You would probably never, ever treat your best friend like you may be treating yourself. So when we berate ourselves, we would never berate our friends like that. And when we're berating ourselves and we're starting to have these reasons and excuses, these resignations, these doubts, and this just feeling on the inside about that negativity, where is that going? Now, the reality going, it is hitting you physically. The mind and body is totally interconnected, and what you think you feel, and that is within the body too. So we are actually polluting and damaging our system. Now, our system, this physical vehicle that we're in right now, there is an expiration date. There is a time when we will leave this vehicle. But if you're like me, I think you probably want to be spending and speaking good things into that vehicle to fuel it with the right quality material. So we begin to speak the truth in our world. We begin to speak the power, the love, the desire, the absolute immense gratitude that you can possibly experience right now. Because the day you start to carry on with that negative self-talk, you are continuing to pollute your body in the exact way as if you're just eating loads of sugar all in one sitting, eating all the fast food, the sugary drinks, which is just killing the system. If you do that consistently, you're not going to end up in a very good physical well-being. You're not, right? We know that. Well, the power of the thought, the power of the feelings that we're experiencing creates that too. That is why when people are so stressed, their body breaks down. Whether it be through illness, whether it be through migraines, whether it be from disorder, when it comes from a dis-ease of the body, when it comes to heart attacks, when it comes to all this chronic fatigue, all that stuff, that is emotional stress, that is physical stress. And where does it start? From a thought. It starts with an idea. And that is why I ask, who is driving this right here? Are you choosing to allow your brain to carry on the exact same way as it always has? Or are you going to start to choose something different, a new opportunity, a new way of being in this world that allows you to experience everything that you truly desire? Now I'm going to put it out there right now. My life is great. There's always things I'm working on. It's not as if I'm absolutely free of all my issues, because we're humans. But you know what? When something arises in my mind, if something arises in my environment, I've got the tools to be able to retrain and be able to evoke a different reaction. I can be conscious of it and then start to change it. where it be through feelings, thoughts, beliefs, ideas, and behaviors, we can choose how we act and react to be able to produce a certain set of consistent results that gives us more emotional freedom, which then allows us to go and have that in our relationships with those in around us, in our environment, in our job, our career, in our every situation. So let's tie it all the way back. You've got to speak the truth into you, rather polluting it. But there's another thing, like I said, if you remember, I like to play little tricks with my unconscious mind. And it's fascinating because it always works. Now this set of questions caused me to experience some remarkable things, where things just pop out of the environment where I get exactly what I want. You see, I believe I'm always provided for. And that's what my wife Melissa says, we're always provided for. And that mentality gives you and seeks out that in return. So to take that a step forward with the type of questions I ask myself are really asking thought-provoking questions to my mind and body to be able to seek out wonderful, beautiful experiences which increase my level of choice and freedom. Whether that be through money, whether that be attracting the right people, because I was done working with clients I didn't like a long time ago. I only work with people I love, like my Mind Mastery members. I love those guys because they're awesome and they're so supportive, and that's why we don't let everyone in Mind Mastery. Because we have a bond which is absolute support. You see, you've got to ask different questions. Because if you begin to ask different questions, you begin to get different results. So what is this miraculous type of questions we can ask ourselves? Let's build a bit of intensity here, right? A bit of intrigue. What is that question that Joseph is on about? Well, here's the thing, right? It's very, very simple. I ask my mind, my body, my world to surprise me today with a little mini miracle, and you can change miracle for anything, but to surprise me with something so synchronistic, so amazing, that it totally gives me the belief that my unconscious mind and the world is listening to me, and that they are responding to my commands, my desires, my dreams, my mission, and my vision on this world. So I ask myself to surprise myself. I ask the world to surprise me of what good can happen today. To surprise me of how I can act and react in total confidence without fear or doubt ever again. To surprise me with something so miraculous that it just goes and hits me, goes, I cannot believe this happened. And it happens each and every single day when I ask that question. At first it's very small. But I really believe my thoughts, my desires are allowing me to experience more. And that's just also science. You see, we're filtering out millions and billions of bits of information all the time. But are we filtering out the miracle based on the beliefs and how we talk about ourselves, based on the past? Are we filtering out the possibility of all the good things which can happen in our life? The chances are, yes. We may be filtering out the opportunities which are always around us. The opportunities that give us exactly what we've been craving for. So I'm going to repeat this again. Ask yourself. Well, first of all, let's start being nice to one another, and more importantly, or equally importantly, of course, to ourselves. Let's start to build that connection, because the wonderful hypnotist, sadly passed for a long time now, once said, or Milton Erickson said, he said patients. So patients are patients because they're disconnected with themselves. They've been programmed through society. They've been programmed through the events that they have become separated and disconnected. Now I'm going to add to that because I pretty much butchered it anyway, but we've become so disconnected that we are now starting to hypnotize ourselves into more conflict. We're starting to just make that gap so big that we're actually turning upon ourselves. At first it was the past. First it was the events we went through which caused that divide on the inside, where we felt conflicted, where we felt that issue right in our heart. But after a while, we started doing that to ourselves. We started to create a deeper conflict by berating ourselves, by speaking ill into our mind and body. So first of all, let's be kind to your unconscious and your mind and body and to yourself. And then number two, and I want you to try this out, have a bit of fun with this. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. All transformation comes from having fun. Guarantee it. The best way to change is when you're having so much fun exploring the infinite possibilities. So have fun with this. Set yourself a task and ask yourself in the morning. And for those in Mind Mastery, we got that covered anyway, because you got your create your day tracks that you can listen to, which just makes things happen. You can add this question just before it as well to go for a deeper transformation. But you guys are really covered there. You may just want to add to this to dramatically propel that transformation. But for everyone else right now, because I want to help you guys, even if you don't really want to be in Mind Mastery right now, that's fine, because it's pretty much closed anyway. But there's only a few places where you can get in, but I kind of hide them a little bit. But like I said, I'm here to support you in any way that I can. I mean, we only want the right people. But you got to start asking yourself the question, what good can happen today? Surprise me of something so significant, something that only I would get to know that my mind and body is listening, that the world is listening, that my reality is listening to me. Surprise me with all the good things coming my way. And I'm not even going to be tied to any expectation. I'm not going to be tied to any outcome. I just want to be surprised by what is good coming my way. Now, the presuppositions in those sentences are pretty immense at an unconscious level. There's all hypnotic language patterns. But even more, we are asking our unconscious mind to seek out the magnificence in your life, to bridge the gap, to seek out the synchronistic moments that allows you to be the watcher, the creator of your life. So go ahead and do that. Experience the magnificence in your life and ask yourself the good questions. And if you had value from this, go ahead and share this video. And what I'll do is I'll speak to you all very soon. And if you want to get the jump start in your transformation, stick around, because I think you might really, really enjoy this.
I would recommend Mind Mastery to anyone that wants to overcome any issue in their life, and 100%.
I would buy it for other people if I thought they'd use it, but there's no point in doing that. If you have you ever feel disconnected, you will always have somebody to be connected with on Mind Mastery.
I would recommend Mind Mastery to everyone. Even if you don't think there's improvement that you need to make or specific steps that you need to take to improve your life, everybody can use support. Everybody can use people to guide you. We all need those kinds of guides, and reaching out to somebody, there's no shame in learning, there's no shame in asking for help, and I feel that Mind Mastery truly gives that help and support that I definitely was looking for, and that everybody can help and use a little bit.
You've got nothing to lose. You can try and find the answers everywhere else. You can waste that time, but if you give Mind Mastery a try, you won't regret it. There's so much you don't know about yourself. There's so many answers that you're looking for, which you can find in Mind Mastery?
I would say definitely join Mind Mastery. You've got the support. Joseph has got so much, to give, and so much for everyone to learn. And you have the great support with Joseph and his wife Melissa, as well as the people in Mind Mastery.
The Mind Mastery community, the online part, is an amazing group where everybody is so friendly, so supportive of one another. There is never a negative word. You can log on at any time and there will always be someone who will listen to what you've got to say, and the feedback and the positive comments are amazing. I've travelled all the way from the UK to come to San Diego and be a part of this first seminar, and there are people here from all over the world. It's been an amazing experience. There's such a good vibe, the rapport with everybody. It's amazingly well humoured as well. Although it's very serious stuff that we're doing here, it's also great fun.
Even before meeting you in person, seeing the videos, participating in the live calls, I never feel that there's a screen in between. I feel a connection even through the cyberspace, and same with the other people as well. I feel definitely a connection. You are so passionate about what you do, and it comes through whenever you give, whether it's a process or it's a spontaneous live Facebook chat after a run or something. You really live what you teach, and it comes through very genuinely. So Joseph is a very genuine, loving, giving, warm person.
Joseph, I think, is amazing. He's done amazing work, and he's helped me a lot. As I said, I don't know where I would be if I hadn't met Joseph. He's helped me in so many ways, and I don't think I could give back what he's given to me, and all I could say is thank you.
Joseph is, first of all, I just think he's an excellent hypnotherapist. That's just an absolute given, okay? In terms of running Mind Mastery, I think he's a professional. He's done this by himself. He's self-educated, self-taught. He's been on the journey. He's overcome a lot of things, so he can really teach you. He's walked the walk, and now he's talking the talk, so he can do both. And the thing that's really great is, like I said, he continues to support you throughout the process. And my highest compliment is that he is a kind and caring man. And that makes all the difference.
Okay, so I don't know if Joseph Clough knows this, but I went online, I don't know how many years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and I was trying to deal with a driving phobia. By the way, this weekend, I've been letting other people drive me all over, okay? And somebody was telling me how great this person was, and I went and listened, and I started working with whatever stuff for free for a year or two. I was working for free with all these hypnosis, and it was helping me so much. And as soon as my mastery came on, didn't pull the trigger right away. It took me a couple months, but as soon as I felt like, okay, I have to do this, I did. And Joseph Clough has helped me so much. I would give anything to help him.
Joseph, the hypnotherapist, his work has been really amazing. I've tried other types of therapy and hypnosis before, and it's helped, but it's never resonated as much as Joseph's work has. I've learned and I've grown so much with Joseph's work, and being here on the weekend and meeting him in person now as well. He's a real stand-up guy. He's fantastic to be around. He's great fun, and it's just been an absolute pleasure to be here.
Joseph is awesome. He is a legend, and he's my hero. He always knows, he always has the answers, but he never gives them to you. You have to find them yourselves, but he gives you the cues. And Joseph often says that you have it in you, and that's true. And he just brings it out. He knows the buttons to press, and you just got to press them.